What drives us to seek the deeper meanings of life? Today, we explore the spiritual odysseys in Christianity and Buddhism. These two major world religions, both with rich histories and widespread influence, have sparked curiosity and conversations about their origins, teachings, and practices. Despite their distinct historical and cultural contexts, you may be surprised by their shared philosophies and spiritual practices. Join us as we delve into the fascinating histories and core teachings of these profound spiritual paths. Every great story begins with a remarkable figure. Who were the founders of Christianity and Buddhism? Let's embark on a journey back in time to meet these iconic spiritual leaders. Siddhartha Gautama, known as the Buddha, was born around the 5th century BCE in what is now Nepal. A prince by birth, Siddhartha chose to renounce his royal life in pursuit of spiritual enlightenment. After achieving this enlightenment, he spent the rest of his life teaching the Dharma, the truth, and establishing a monastic community. His teachings spread far and wide, leading to the evolution of various Buddhist schools such as Theravada, Mahayana, and Vajrayana. Fast forward to the start of the 1st century CE, we encounter Jesus of Nazareth, known as Jesus Christ. Born in Bethlehem, in present-day Israel, Jesus was a Jewish preacher who taught about the kingdom of God. After his crucifixion and reported resurrection, his disciples began to spread his teachings. Christianity grew within the Roman Empire and eventually became a dominant religion, branching into numerous denominations, including Catholicism, Orthodoxy, and Protestantism. Though centuries and cultures apart, both leaders embarked on missions that transformed their societies and created lasting legacies. Their teachings, imbued with wisdom and compassion, continue to guide millions of people around the world today. As we delve deeper into the philosophies of these two great religions, we'll discover that they share more common ground than one might initially think. At the heart of most spiritual traditions lies a call to compassion and ethical living. How do Buddhism and Christianity approach these universal values? The core teachings of Buddhism and Christianity, despite their distinct origins and historical context, share a profound emphasis on compassion and ethics. Let's explore these shared values in more depth. In Buddhism, compassion and love are embodied in the concepts of karuna and metta. Karuna is the heartfelt wish for all beings to be free from suffering, while metta is the active cultivation of unconditional love and goodwill towards all. In practice, these principles encourage Buddhists to approach the world with an open heart, fostering empathy and understanding. Similarly, in Christianity, the teachings of Jesus Christ place a significant emphasis on love. Jesus taught the importance of loving one's neighbor and even one's enemies, as illustrated by the parable of the Good Samaritan and the Sermon on the Mount. This love, according to Christian teachings, should be selfless, forgiving, and encompassing. In terms of ethical conduct, both Buddhism and Christianity provide clear guidelines for their followers. Buddhism outlines the 5 precepts, which include abstaining from killing, stealing, sexual misconduct, lying, and intoxication. These precepts serve as a moral compass, guiding Buddhists towards actions that promote harmony and reduce suffering. Christianity, in turn, offers the 10 Commandments and the moral teachings of Jesus, which stress honesty, fidelity, respect for life, and avoidance of harmful behaviors. These principles form the bedrock of Christian ethics, encouraging followers to live in accordance with the will of God. And then there's the Golden Rule, a principle central to both religions. Treat others as you would wish to be treated. In Buddhism, this is echoed in the teaching of not causing harm, recognizing that all beings seek happiness and wish to avoid suffering. In Christianity, Jesus articulated the Golden Rule in the Gospels, urging followers to do unto others as they would have done unto themselves. Despite their different approaches, both religions fundamentally urge us to lead lives of compassion and moral uprightness. And as we'll see in the next scene, this shared ethos extends into their spiritual practices and monastic traditions. Spiritual practices are the vehicles that transport the faithful to higher understanding. What practices do Buddhists and Christians engage in? In both Buddhism and Christianity, meditation and prayer are essential practices, each serving as a pathway to spiritual enlightenment and communion with the divine. For Buddhists, meditation involves various techniques, including mindfulness and concentration, which help cultivate a deep, insightful awareness of the present moment. This practice is not just about tranquility, but also about understanding the nature of reality, thereby leading to liberation from suffering. Similarly, Christians use prayer as a means of communication with God. It's a practice that encompasses praise, confession, thanksgiving, and supplication. Through prayer, Christians seek to foster a personal connection with the divine, hoping to align their lives more closely with God's will. Moving beyond individual practices, both religions also embrace monastic life as a profound expression of spiritual commitment. Buddhist monasticism is one of the oldest in the world. Monks and nuns live by the Vinaya, a strict code of discipline that governs all aspects of monastic life, from eating habits to daily duties. These communities are not just retreats from the world, but centers of learning and preservation of the Buddha's teachings. Christian monasticism, which began to flourish several centuries after Buddhism, shares similar values. Christian monks and nuns live in communities where they devote their lives to prayer, contemplation, and service. Following various monastic rules, like the rule of Saint Benedict, they seek to live out the teachings of Jesus in a communal and disciplined way. These communities often become places of spiritual refuge and guidance for lay people seeking spiritual direction. In essence, both Buddhist and Christian monastic communities uphold ideals of poverty, chastity, and obedience, striving to transcend earthly desires and to live in a way that is entirely devoted to spiritual upliftment. Through prayer, meditation, or communal living, both Buddhists and Christians seek to transcend the ordinary and touch the divine. As our exploration comes to a close, what can we glean from the shared paths of these two venerable traditions? We've traced the footsteps of Siddhartha Gautama and Jesus of Nazareth, their distinct journeys leading them to universal truths. Both started with a spark of enlightenment, one under a Bodhi tree, the other in the humble settings of Bethlehem, and these sparks ignited spiritual revolutions that continue to resonate today. We've seen how both Buddhism and Christianity, despite their unique historical and cultural contexts, extol the virtues of compassion, love, and ethical conduct, guiding their followers on a path of righteousness. Their teachings echo the timeless Golden Rule, a testament to our shared humanity. We delved into the spiritual practices that shape the lives of millions, from the meditative rituals of Buddhism to the contemplative prayers of Christianity, all underpinned by a profound sense of selflessness and renunciation. In the teachings of both Buddha and Christ, we find a powerful reminder of our shared human quest for compassion, understanding, and spiritual depth.